I was waiting for people and I didn't record. Oh man.
Nope, you didn't.
So what I'm gonna
Mm.
do, I'm gonna go back, and when we do it, I ain't gonna go all the way back. But from now on, I'm gonna record some stuff and send it to y'all. In fact,
Oh, okay.
you know what? I'm gonna transcribe some of this information for this, just for this night. I'm gonna send you the rest of it, which is like another 30 some minutes, 40 minutes, whatever. And then I'm gonna create a PDF with a lot of the information that I done already covered with y'all. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna send y'all that PDF. I'm gonna go ahead and do that extra step so that it
Okay.
helps y'all, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I got all this stuff written down. Like I got all these notes I've taken and that I typed up and all that. Because that's, I couldn't remember all this stuff as quickly as I'm giving it to y'all. So I had to type this stuff up. Actually,
Right.
I had somebody else type it for me, but they did a lot of typing. So let's look at the let me give you the current state of AI based software systems, for instance. Because of the recent advancements in AI, they've led to the emergence of a new type of system called generative adversarial networks, or
Mm-hmm.
GANS, which generate realistic images, text, or audio. Due to their due to that remarkable capability, some people are concerned that this technology could replace humans in the future. Of course, it can't, but
Mm-hmm.
that's what people be tripping about. Because GANs are just one example of how AI is changing people's lives. Now, what we're gonna go into now, I mentioned, for instance, how AI examples in the applications and software systems such as like GPT-3, Dolly, and virtual reality, augmented reality. Those like these what you call those things you put on your face that
Yeah.
people are using now. That's
Uh-huh.
all a part of what they call virtual reality and augmented reality, which is the
Right.
data being able to create images and videos with inside the machine that they putting on their face, right?
Mm.
So let's
Mm-hmm.
talk a little bit about AI based software systems, right? They're
Uh-huh.
mostly comprised of a lot of layers, such as you got the foundational models, you got the advanced algorithms, and you got automated reasoning tools. Some of the most popular AI based systems that use these layers include the ChatGPT, including Dolly. Dolly is the one that I told you that creates the images in GPT. And then you got a couple of ones I haven't really heard of, AlphaGo and Robert A. And there's a few others, right? Because what happened when ChatGPT began to roll and how it's rolled, you got all these AI variants, all these different AI applications. You can even the crazy part is, you know what you're doing from a understanding standpoint, you can actually tell ChatGPT to give you the code to create an artificial AI application.
Mm.
You
Mm.
know, that's kind of, that's cool. So when you look at Dali and you look at GPT, those are large scale models that have achieved remarkable results in computer vision and natural language processing. Those are two aspects of the types of model of AI. That the GPT model is what I saw, the natural language processing model,
Mm-hmm.
based on a deep learning algorithm called transformers. It's trained on a corpus of text from Common Crawl and published in um 20. It started back in 2020. So like that's when they came out with GPT-3. So it used a large data set trained in the English language to produce outputs based on the inputted information, meaning based on the prompts that you put in it, which a prompt is merely the requests or the instructions that you give ChatGPT for it to give you the desired result. And the way that you do a prompt is called prompt engineering, meaning you really have to know and understand how to how to say a prompt so that you can get what you want. You got to be very, very, very specific. Okay. You got to be very, very specific as to what you request from the prompt. Oh, this is what I wanted to share with y'all right quick at this junk before it get too late. Okay, let me go here. I just want y'all to
Hi
hear.
guys. I'm so
Hey,
sorry to
Hi.
interrupt you, Adib. Does it change times? Is it not 7:30 at each class this every time
now
anymore?
on when we do the AI thing, it's 6:30. When we
Okay, my
do when
bad.
we
That's
do
why.
when we do the actors entrepreneur class, that's 7 o'clock.
Okay. All right.
So,
Sorry about that.
all right, not a problem. Do your thing. All right. Let me. In fact, I'm gonna let y'all see some stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and take y'all to the big boy stuff right quick. Okay. Let me go to my stuff. Okay, let me get out of there. There you go. Okay. Let me go here. I'm gonna just give you a sense of the sophistication that's available when we talk about this. This is kind of uh, pre-framing tomorrow night. Okay.
We have class tomorrow night? Uh-huh.
Yeah, because of this class.
Okay.
How does okay? Here we go. I want y'all to understand this. I don't want to take y'all too fast, so let me do this. Okay, but I need y'all to understand basic language processing. Mm-mm. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so let me go here. Let me go share. Let me go share. Make sure you got the sound. Then hit this. Hit this.
Have you ever talked to a computer or a phone before? Maybe you asked Siri a question or had Alexa play a song for you. These are examples of something called natural language processing, or NLP for short. NLP is a fancy way of saying that computers can understand the words we use and the way we talk, even if we don't use perfect grammar or say things in a roundabout way. This is really helpful because it means we can talk to computers like we talk to our friends, and they can understand what we mean. ChatGPT is an example of a really smart NLP computer program. It's like a robot friend that can talk to you in a way that sounds like a real person. ChatGPT has been taught to understand a lot of different words and phrases, so you can ask it questions or tell it things, and it will respond to you just like a real friend would. For example, you could ask ChatGPT what the weather is like today, and it would tell you if it's sunny or rainy or snowy. Or you could tell ChatGPT a joke, and it would laugh, or try to anyway. ChatGPT is really good at understanding what you're saying and responding in a way that makes sense. Now imagine that you're on a trip to a foreign country where you don't speak the language. You might try using a translation app to help you communicate with people who speak a different language. That translation app is using natural language processing to understand what you're saying and translate it into the other person's language. ChatGPT works kind of like that, except instead of translating between languages, it's translating between human language and computer language. It's a really cool tool that can help us communicate with computers in a more natural way. NLP is also widely used to analyze language on social media to determine the general sentiments about a particular brand or product. For instance, companies might use NLP to track social media conversations about their products and services and adjust their marketing strategies accordingly. You see, the possibilities are endless, and it's all thanks to the power of natural language processing.
That
So
makes
that would be Siri and right?
Alexa, Sirius and
Right.
Alexa. And also, I don't know how many of you travel and have maybe went to an area where they spoke a different language and you use the Google Translator.
I haven't.
You haven't used it
Mhm.
yet?
No,
Okay,
but I've
so
heard of it though.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's an app. It's a Google app that you download. That the Google Translator has been around since 2011. right?
Yeah.
So that's what I mean by alleviating the anxiety of understanding what AI really is, because we've been dealing with it, interacting with it for almost 15 years, right? But we didn't put it within the context. Oh, this is an artificial intelligence application. We just say, oh, it do this, right? So when they start pushing the narrative because of the power of ChatGPT, now remember what I told you about OpenAI. OpenAI valuation is $29 billion and it's only going up. That's why they changed from being a nonprofit to a cap company, meaning they became a business on the market, but they call it a cap company because investors can only get back 100 times their investment. And their initial investment was I think it was 10 billion. And then Microsoft, in their collaboration with them, because Microsoft recognized, oh shoot, they doing things. So they invested $10 million. So what's 100 times 10 million? You feel me?
10 trillion.
But my point is, so you can tell that ChatGPT, OpenAI ain't going nowhere because they
Right.
having a global impact. Anytime you acquire 100 million users in 60 days, that tell you something. Can you imagine how much money they making?
A lot.
Right? So let's get away from the big number and let's just do simple math. Say for instance, you got a business. And because you really learn how to use ChatGPT to produce digital assets that are the assets that you can sell on the internet, whether you're selling it on Amazon, whether you're selling it through your website, whether you done came up with a membership site where you have value that you provide and people pay for a monthly newsletter. Say people pay you $100 a month for a monthly newsletter that you put out because of your expertise, and you got 100 people, right? Let's just do simple math. You got 100 people giving you $25 a month. That's $2,500 a month, right? Okay, so if you got 100 people giving you $25, so you get to the point over a year or two, and that's being real conservative because you could potentially make it happen so much quicker. But let's say a year or two, and you got, instead of 100 people, now you got 1,000 people paying you $25 for a newsletter that you created with the help of ChatGPT. That's $25,000 a month. You know that, right?
Right.
Okay, cool. So this is what I want you to understand, and this is the bottom line. What I'm teaching y'all these 2 days is just a small fraction of an overall thing that we developing that's going to teach people business strategy, teach them how to actually execute on creating assets that they can put into the marketplace depending upon what it is they're interested in, what it is that they really know, and that they can make themselves findable to the millions of people that don't know nothing about you. But if you create your brand properly, and the fact that we all are in some way in entertainment, then we're positioned differently than the average person because we already can create brands associated with what we do that people are already watching. Let me give you an example. Any of y'all know my man Trey Chaney that moved from here to Atlanta? Right? You see what Trey's doing, don't you? He used the fact that he was on The Wire and on Saints and Sinners and created clothing. He's selling merch, because one of the things that was pointed out to me by one of my mentors, what they call it, that show about Jesus that's real popular online. What's the name of that? I can't remember the name of the show. Anyway, the producer of that show was in a mastermind talking to a group of entrepreneurs about how in that mastermind they created $29 million selling merchandise associated with the success of that show.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
Now,
Mm-hmm.
let me remind all of y'all that's in entertainment and Dr. Kalolo, this was something you at least need to be aware of, right? If you're in entertainment and you have a popular show and that show gets any kind of traction, and the real traction is not the awards it get or none of that, is the amount of audience that's actually watching that show. That audience is your market.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because your personal brand can far exceed your business brand. And the reason being is because when people resonate with you and they begin to follow you and they begin to listen to you, they begin to buy whatever you put in the marketplace.
That's
Just
true.
like just like when you are a popular actor, singer, whatever, and they want you as a brand ambassador, because, oh, you famous, let me pay you to talk about our product. And now
Mm-hmm.
because of influencing and brand ambassadorship, because you can create the situation of an audience by you consistently posting and people start paying attention to you, and then the market, the businesses see that have products, see, oh, he's very popular, she's very popular, she got 100,000 followers,
Mm-hmm.
let me pay her a little money just to talk about my product.
Mm-hmm.
When you understand this, you can actually intentionally sit back, map out a strategy to increase your brand, increase your audience with intention, and then eventually, with enough of an audience, there's no way that you can't make X amount of dollars a month and not worry about whatever job is out there and all of that, because you will have, in effect, create your own business. And that's the beauty of the internet. That's the beauty of understanding the technology, because the barrier of entry to a vast amount of people, to an audience, or to
Mm-hmm.
subscribers, or to the market, you just have to make yourself findable by doing certain things consistently. And that's not merely just posting about what you're doing, but provide some type of product that's available for people to purchase while you doing what you're doing. If they following you anyway, you might well sell them something of value.
Yeah, but where would you get the product?
Is in your head.
Oh,
What are you good at?
well, what I'm good at talking to people
Okay, but
and telling them things
talking to people about what?
about living life, like living life now. Like in other words, uh after 50, there's life after 50, and there's a lot of fun to do,
Okay, so that
fun stuff
means,
to do.
so who would you talk to if it's life after 50? People that's over the 50.
Right.
So those are seniors, right?
Yeah.
So if you begin to talk about that consistently, 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 I'm gonna say it one more time, consistently, and you turned
Mhm.
on the camera and did that, you know how many people would over time begin to follow what you're talking about?
A lot, but then what I'm gonna sell? I want to know where do I get?
One step at a time. One step at a
Okay.
time.
Oh,
Build the audience first by providing the value of what you know, the importance of being over 50 and living life, right?
yeah.
Then allow the fact that you talk to and engage with the audience, let the audience tell you what they most interested in, because that's what market research is. You
Mm,
engaging with people. It ain't about what we post, is what's the result of what we post, what is people saying, that they begin to communicate with you. That does two things for you as a business. One, you get to know your audience. Yes, they
mhm.
following you because you're talking about something they're interested in. But
Right.
how you benefit from that and giving them that value is you
Mm.
begin to talk to them, not just look at their comment, respond to their comment, begin to
Oh.
establish a relationship with them,
Mhm.
just like in real life when you meet people and you say something and people start communicating with you, you in effect are developing a relationship. In a relationship that you interact with people over time, what's the principle? All business, people want to do business with who they know, who
Mhm.
they like, and who they trust. So
Yeah.
The way that you establish trust online using social media is engagement and interacting with each person so that they feel like you actually interacting with them and they not just
Mhm.
one of the many numbers of people that be talking to you. And the people who are good at it, they do simple stuff. You make a post, they comment to your post, don't they?
Yes.
And they put a heart or they do some comment, some reaction to what you said because they smart enough to know that the algorithm will pay attention to the fact that you interacting with people and will put your information in front of more people.
Okay. Well, okay, like this is what I want to find, what I'm trying to get to is that I notice on some of these like I don't know if the person is, has a big following or anything like that. But like TikTok, for example, like I noticed like a person might sell oh, I know, like a foundation. You know what I mean? They'll put the foundation on and they'll talk to them. Oh, this really makes me look a lot smaller. Okay. So people, they will buy the product, but they don't know her personally. So that's what I'm getting at. How do would it be a brand you find a brand or you contact a company and say, hey, this is what I'd like to bring to the people in my age group that I think could benefit.
No,
That's what I'm
no,
trying to find out.
that's what you're trying to find out. I'm telling you, it ain't you finding them, is them finding you.
Oh, okay. In other words, so you're saying you have a like your business and you're going around talking to your people and that type thing. And then you're saying because of what you're doing, the brands will find you. Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
And
That makes
that's what
sense.
people are doing right in front of you. I'm gonna give you the perfect example. Favor.
Yeah.
Right? That's all my girl
Mm,
doing.
mm-hmm.
She
Mm-hmm.
started doing something online at first, and all of what they doing is intentional because I talk to them periodically, right? In
Oh,
fact,
absolutely.
they
Definitely.
kind of wanted to do something with me. They wanted me to kind of get involved, but I got so much other stuff going on that I think I might do that a little later. But right now, my attention is to doing stuff like this course, dealing with developing these businesses and developing the businesses I'm already involved in. So I don't need to at this juncture for me. Not that's I would recommend any of y'all who doing whatever you doing to intentionally create content that brings value to a certain sector of people, whoever they are, and then do
Mhm.
that over time consistently. And it ain't gonna happen overnight, but when it happened, Lord have mercy. If you get
But
if you get 2,500 people subscribe to you on YouTube, you start getting paid,
yeah.
right? Especially
Mm-hmm.
if you know
Well,
how to do it. And I got the specific formula, as you all who know me know, because I read the YouTube formula. Daryl Eve, the guy that's the primary authority on how to utilize YouTube to make money. I would recommend that book for anybody because if you just
what's the
follow
name of it?
the YouTube formula,
YouTube. What's his name? Daryl.
Daryl Derral Eves Eves or Eve.
Okay, I'll get that.
So
EVES. Oh, okay, Eves. Yeah, I definitely because you definitely have to have a strategy. So
there you go.
I'll
So
read that book.
it's a combination of three things. You just mentioned one.
Strategy.
What's the other two
Gotta
things
have
that
that.
go with strategy?
A plan. You have to have a strategy. You have to
Well, where
have a
you got to
plan.
start? Where you got to start?
Where do you have to start? Well,
Yeah.
by
You want
writing
me to
down
tell
what
you?
you want,
You
your
want me to
goals.
tell you?
Oh yeah.
Mindset. Because it don't matter what strategy you come up with or what tool you come up with. If you don't have the mindset that you have the ability to be focused on doing things intentionally and being
Mhm.
disciplined and consistent with doing it so that you don't procrastinate at any time once you make up your mind what you're going to do. Because I can guarantee you unequivocally the science and universal law is this: as creatives, when we come up with a specific idea of how to implement something, particularly if it's a formula that we've learned that works for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and maybe thousands of other people, we see it. But the mistake we always make, as opposed to seeing the successful formula and modeling and doing that, but just being consistent with it so it begins to create our own unique following, our own unique way of putting the value in the world, is we start trying to analyze and figure something out that don't need to be figured out. It's already figured
Mm.
out. So why are you trying to figure it out differently? and think it's gonna work different from you for you. And it just might, but it's gonna take you a heck of a lot longer. And all of us who are over 50, we ain't got no whole bunch of time in front of us like we had behind us. So let's stop
Right.
BSing. This is where I'm gonna put it. Now, I don't mean no disrespect nobody, so I ain't gonna cuss. But let's stop BSing and really focus on the information that's in front of us that's telling us quite clearly, quite loudly, quite brightly, hey, this is available to you. All you got to do is do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's question and answer time. I'm gonna answer any question relative to the technology and the artificial intelligence and its applications and whatever you might be thinking. Talk to me now. Don't ask me no questions specifically about ChatGPT because you're gonna get the in-depth tomorrow. But artificial intelligence as a general, have I at least demystified what artificial intelligence is for anybody?
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So did you, Dr. Cololo? You're on mute.
Yes.
Where you at? I don't see you.
You hear me? Oh, I was
Oh yeah, okay. There you go.
okay. I'm here.
Okay, I hear you here. So Dr. Cololo, let me ask you a question. So did you get any additional clarity or understanding about artificial intelligence from the things we touched on tonight?
Yeah, sure.
I mean, really, do you have
Yeah,
any
sure.
do you have any questions?
No, I'm ready for the second part.
Yeah, me too.
All right, so I'm gonna ask the question quite
How
bluntly.
how I can use it.
Okay. But you do have I hope you have a little more comfortability with what's possible by knowing that AI ain't all that for real when you understand what's going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. When you talked about the
Algorithms.
algorithm and stuff like that, it was like I took a programming course in college and
Oh,
master, and
yeah.
it's just really how the programmers work.
Mm-hmm.
They have a certain set of instructions and designed to achieve a certain point. So,
Mm-hmm.
it really, so it's just it's a more deeper level because now it can interact with, go into the deepness of my brain and put me in there
Uh-huh.
and use that information to begin to actually process and take advantage of I can of my of what I have
Mm-hmm.
and incorporate that into language. So
Okay.
yeah, so it was good to have it. You explained it pretty simply, just what it is and it does, people have a lot. I've had, in fact, had I've spoken with a couple of my colleagues about, well, I'm going to take the AI course, and like, why are you doing that?
Wait till they see the result of why you doing it. Then
And yeah, and basically it was, my whole thing is like there's a lot of, fear of the unknown.
right.
And so my thought about that is that, you know, when you have a fear, it's kind of like all you need to do is turn on the light, like how you
Mm-hmm.
used to be afraid of the boogeyman,
Yep.
but you ain't never afraid of the boogeyman in the light, right?
Right,
I
right.
like that. That's a good way to
I
put
like
it.
that too. I like
Yeah,
that too.
that's a good way to put it. I'm gonna use that one if you don't mind.
Absolutely.
I like that.
Oh man. All
I
right,
like
folks.
when
So
I liked when you talked about the difference between the AI and the neural networks. I like that
Yeah,
part.
yeah.
Mhm. So that means I must. I think it sounds like I might be doing something good, huh?
Yeah. I
Okay.
understood that clearly.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's my objective. So y'all get ready for tomorrow night, because tomorrow night we gonna revisit a couple of things I hadn't touched on with AI, but then we gonna get into ChatGPT, how to
Yeah,
actually how to use it, actually
absolutely.
how to set it up,
Mhm.
then
Yeah.
how to use it once it's set up, because we'll go through a few use cases, meaning that you tell us what you would like to do or what you're thinking, and we can pretty much tell you how to properly speak to the AI in order to get that particular thing done,
Mhm.
right? And then after that, if there's some real situation or businesses you want to either do or work with, then we can talk about, because the whole thing about this is it sets people up to understand what's possible. And there may be a couple of y'all that want to do two things to make money. I'm gonna be straight up with you. One, if you refer people to the class, because I'm gonna do it every 2 weeks until the first part of April, and then I got other stuff I gotta do, but then I'm gonna come back and present this class. And while simultaneously right now I'm talking to Prince George's Community College, because they want me to bring it there. So as soon as I lock down a date, I'm gonna get a area there that holds at least 100 to 150 people, and they can come in, but we'll do everything in one day from 9 o'clock in the morning to probably 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Oh,
So
that's wonderful.
yeah, and then we'll bring in maybe 100. My goal is 100 to 150 people. And so for 150, those businesses that come in, they'll get a little deeper part, because their questions, I'm sure, because these will be people who are actively doing business. So whatever case usage they have, then we can give them some information, but then that may lead to consulting opportunities for us to actually bring a team in and actually show them, not only show them, but do it for them in such a way that it increases their productivity. And my thing is, if we can show you how to 10x your income, then you don't have no problem paying for that.
I
And
hear
as
I
you.
have another, excuse me, I have another Zoom, so I have to get going, but
oh, okay,
I
okay,
do
thanks, and
too.
I'll see you. Okay,
all
see you,
right, sis.
Dolores. I
All
See
just
you.
right,
was
sweetie.
talking to Dolores earlier, though. Wow. And then
All
I see
right,
you now.
all right. Well, we
Okay,
all one
thank
big
you.
happy family.
I know, right?
So,
Okay,
I know.
okay.
So y'all
Hey,
have a
good night.
wonderful time. I'm gone too. It's 8 o'clock. So any questions,
Okay,
I'm always available to reach out.
okay.
All right, thank you.
We're
Okay,
good.
good
All
Okay,
class.
right.
Good
bye-bye.
class.
All right.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Peace out.
All
Peace
right.
out.